Welcome to Pax East 2025, held in Boston, Massachusetts. I thought it'd be fun to start this video out, showing you what it's like to arrive to PAX first thing in the morning. So this was our second day, which was Friday, and when you show up before the show starts, you've got this long gauntlet of barriers to wind your way through before you can even get into the building. It's about a 10 to 15 minute walk from outside until you finally get to your line where you can sit and wait until the show floor opens at 10 a.m. This was probably around 9:20 in the morning, again on our second day, Friday. Now we made it through the gauntlet outside. Now we've got to make our way down to the line inside of the building. So through our lobby, and then down the side chute, that's what I'm going to call it, till we eventually get to an escalator, where we go down to the lower level. This, of course, has been sped up 5 times speed. Just to give you a little bit of a time lapse as we come into here. Now over here on our left, we can see some lines already set up. This is for overflow, because there are 5 or 6 lines prepped in the show floor, in the exhibit hall. And then if those fill up before 10 o'clock, well then they spill out here into the hallway. You can see we're pretty lucky. We're actually in the 4th line on the show floor. There's 2 more lines staged up here, and as we approach 10 o'clock, they definitely get filled up. At this point, I thought, why not give you a little overview of the show floor itself? So there's 2 sky bridges here at the convention center, and what we're going to be doing is just kind of walking our way across the sky bridge, looking back towards the entrance. We see 2 escalators off in the distance, and seeing basically how the show floor is set up, give you a little bit of a sense of scale. Now this video was again taken fairly early in the morning, so it's not really a great representation of how busy this show really does get, especially on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Probably the biggest draw for the show was the Elden Ring dome that you see here. We're going to see that a little bit up close and personal here in just a few minutes. And then this shot is from the other side of that same sky bridge. You can see off in the distance, right there at the top of the screen, that's the second sky bridge. We're going to make our way down through that here in a little bit. Giant's booth, it's off in the distance there a little bit. We'll get an up close look at that booth here in a little bit. Now this set of booths that are directly below us here, where it says Poland. I really like this booth area, and they've been set up the 3 times that I've been to PAX. It's a bunch of independent game developers from Poland that come and basically show off their games. It's really great because you get to an opportunity to talk to the actual developers who are building up these games. There's something going on in Poland around gaming, that's for sure. Now here we are on our second sky bridge, and the back of the exhibit hall really focuses more on card games, board games, and D&D. Kind of between the front and the back of the show floor, we had our esports arena. And then what we see here is we have several VR booths set up, so you can come play VR, sample it out, see if it's something you want to try or something you want to buy later on. And then we've got several gaming PCs just set up here. You sign up for a time slot, you get some amount of time that you can come and just play the games that are here on these PCs. Now, I mentioned we'd have an opportunity to get up close with the Elden Ring Dome, and that's what we've got here. Night Rain was a huge draw for the show. Lots of people were trying to get into this. They had tickets set up to get into the dome so you could see the gameplay or potentially play the game early. Now, another big draw of the show was Dune. So we've got some persons set up here, kind of in some cosplay in front of the Dune Worm, and a big Dune Awakening booth where you can come and play. There was actually an open beta over the PAX weekend where we got Steam keys, we could download the beta and play. I do believe that that is pretty much over at this point, but it was interesting to see that handed out. Crimson Desert was another big draw of the show. I'll tell you what, I didn't know anything about this game, and I was kind of surprised at how big the booth was because of the fact that I hadn't heard anything about it. Here we get a little bit of a sample of the gameplay. Looks like it's kind of a hack and slash open world game. Other notables at the show were Section 13. God Save Birmingham. There's a little up close of that gameplay of God Save Birmingham. And of course, Larian Studios was there with a lot of PCs where you could play Baldur's Gate 3. We also have a Baldur's Gate 3 themed board game that people were playing and they were showing off. You get yourself a photo with a Mind Flayer, or maybe a photo with some cosplayers. So we've got Astarion, Karlach, and Lae'zel there. Now, of course, my big draw is the Giant Software booth. This is where I spent most of my day. We had information about Project Motor Racing, Farming Simulator 25, of course, Folks could win some Farm Sim 25 merch and also play the game. Here we are at that Polish booth that I talked about earlier. So all these games are independent developers from Poland. They've come over here kind of as a group to show off their games. You can go ahead and scan those QR codes if you want to get some more information. Some of these games are out, some of these games are coming soon, and some of them are just here kind of to show off, but they'll be out later on. Now, I typically wouldn't have been that interested in this booth, but my kid who was with me was really into this game, so I thought I'd get some video of it. Monster Train 2. It's kind of an interesting concept. I thought it had something to do with trains on a monster, which it kind of does, but it's really a card game, and card games really aren't my thing. But it seemed to have lots of interesting dynamics, lots of interesting gameplay, and if you're into that kind of thing, then this game is probably going to be right up your alley. So this is some video of my kid playing Monster Train 2. I don't really know what's going on, but he was enjoying it. Now the rest of this video is really going to be me walking the floor, taking a look at booths, seeing what's there, what's notable. I had some more video footage, but after the show, when I finally had a time to review the footage, about half the footage that I had recorded for some reason was in slow-mo mode, and I couldn't fix any of that, so I had to dump all that footage. But at any rate, we're about halfway through the video at this point. If you want to stop here, that's fine. If not, go ahead and watch the rest of this. It'll give you a good idea of what it's like to attend Pax East. And if you can possibly attend Pax East, it's a great thing to do because it's an opportunity to learn, explore, and try out tons of games that you may not even be aware are out there or are coming. It's a great opportunity to talk to game developers and folks who are specifically designing these games. So if you've got things that you want to see in these games or things you didn't like when you tried it out, we can talk directly to those developers and potentially impact the game once it does release. Among Us was back with Among Us 3D, a new concept on a very popular game, and I have to say, I kind of liked the 3D aspect of this. Also available in VR. And that's it for our PAX East 25 coverage. Hope to see you at PAX East 2026 next year. It was a great time. 4 days of seeing and talking to folks at the Giants booth. And again, until next time, happy gaming.